You ever wake up and start to wonder what are the real actual benefits to waking up and living life? Because everybody don't have the same options. Not to say that you want to give up, but you had those doubts sometimes in your life. I think this is one of the biggest reasons why people feeling unfulfilled uh, in this life called, this journey that you live. Because a lot of us got options that can end up, progressing your life, whereas though you end up enjoying it, and you also can have a head start to the point whereas though most don't have a good head start, and it makes everything to them feel very well worth it when they striving for success. But success sometimes don't really feel like success to others. So a lot of times you try to put up your success to someone else, and then you feel like a failure. But in actuality, you're really not a failure. It just kind of make you wonder how we actually think, like we motivate each other. But a lot of times it seems like you need to find something within yourself to kind of motivate your own self. And that seems to be hard. Because it seems like every time when you're looking at other people's lives, you try to compare, but you try not to. You don't. It's one of those things that get tricky. It get tricky because you can be fulfilled, but at the same time, your fulfillment comes from how you grow up, your parents thinking that it's good for you to go to college. But then you got most today that go to college and they feel unrewarded because they can't even find a job, a good landing job. It's kind of weird. And we living in weird times. We're living in times where it's, I don't know, it's becoming confusing. You can't really analyze everything how you once used to analyze things because everything is not it's not a fair playing field. Houses are too much, too much. Loans are too much. Car notes are just as much as a damn house. It's crazy. Some of these things that you tend to look at now feels very uninspiring because you working your butt off, but at the same time, your taxes is out of hand. Anytime you can buy a car with the taxes that was taken out of your check just for the year, to some maybe not, but it's kind of weird because we're living in a place that feels cloudy, and we actually living in an era now where as though you don't quite understand what direction to go, but at the same time you're trying to inspire yourself, motivate yourself, but that's hard to do. It's crazy. I think a lot of us can kind of, not everybody, but I can say a lot of us kind of relate to living life with a lot of struggles. Some of us have a little bit of struggles that we dealing with, whatever it may be. But at the same time, we all in this together, no matter how you look at it. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. But at the same time, hopefully you got more ups than there are downs. Because if you have too many downs, then, the likelihood of you being able to succeed through life and be able to make it and be able to have some good thoughts about yourself is going to probably kind of dwindle down and take you out of here. It's probably why you need more positive people around you to be inspiring and to be able to take you to a higher level of thinking. It's kind of hard to really think when you got so many things on your plate. They say pressure, too much pressure on the one soldiers, you should be able to, get through it. But in some cases, I feel like you can't quite make it through it, but you can. But it also depends on your mindset. That's why a lot of times when you take advice from people, it's best to get advice from people that actually been through something. Not ones that's always winning. Because it's funny, we do live in a time where as though if you win it too much, you really don't want to hear what a person is talking about. Because if they win it too much, they can't really tell you anything. And if they can't tell you anything about winning, all they know is winning. You want to know about their losses. That way you can see if they was able to get themselves together from a loss and get back onto the winning path. If you look at Instagram, it's crazy. Everybody look like they winning, but you know that's a lie. They say it's a lot of millionaires out here. Mm. Are there? Are there? And there's a lot of wealth out here that's being passed around. But last I checked, you see multiple firms under the same name owning most of the real estate. So if there is a lot of wealth out here, you know what I mean, you might never see it. But at the same time, I'm still trying to strive for that. I'm still growing. I actually made it to a point in my life where as though I started getting comfortable. And I think comfortability will hurt and hinder you when you start to become comfortable. Because a lot of times when you're comfortable, it makes you feel a little bit relaxed to the point you don't feel like striving for anything more. That's because you're comfortable. And a lot of times when you're comfortable, you stagnate it. And that's one of the things you want to do. You want to be motivated by your own actions. And you want to inspire yourself, because if you need people to inspire you, what's going to happen is you're going to run into a wall where so you feel uninspired because you can't quite get over your own hurdle. So yeah, it's iffy. It's kind of crazy because I remember working on my crib. Like, I remember this room I'm in right now. I'm in my bedroom right now. I remember when I gutted this whole bedroom. I gutted the whole 2 floors. This is a duplex. And I gutted both floors that I'm living on now. And I remember gutting it, and all of a sudden, I just had like a boost of energy. Motivated. I was just motivated because I was just doing it, and I was seeing my transition from bare walls to me building up a wall to me putting in a shower into the bathroom. How everything was just coming together. And then all of a sudden, I end up getting injured. I end up almost losing my whole thumb. And the whole time I was going through that, I was just saying to myself, damn, I should have just stopped. I should have just stopped. But you know what happened? I ended up hurting myself. This was the thumb I almost took off. I had to get reconstructive surgery. But what was crazy is I actually felt so drained from all the hard work, but I wasn't drained before I had the injury. I only got drained because I had to sit down for a little bit. And when I had to sit down for a little bit, it made me start looking at things, because I started going into a sad, depressing mindset. Because, you know, when you sit down sometimes and you stagnate it and you like to be busy getting stuff done, when you at a standstill, you get nothing done. And by me not getting nothing done, I was just sitting there just thinking all the money I'm spending, I'm paying my bills, going through my savings account, and you start to feel like your luck is running out. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how life kind of presents itself like that. And I started being uninspired. And all of a sudden, I started slacking once I got back to work, and I didn't quite jump back on the renovation. So now I'm at a point now I'm starting to get back motivated. And I realize what happens when you do start to get a little too comfortable. You start to get to a point where as though you start to tell yourself, I get to it the next day. I get to it the next day. Everything gets the next day. Everything. So as you can see right here behind me, you see a brick wall. That's the hallway. I'm actually going to be finishing that probably. I'm probably going to start on that tomorrow. I'm selling all the brick. I had exposed the brick. But it's just weird how life plays out. Just being comfortable to uncomfortable, and a lot of times you got to feel uncomfortable in order to get yourself comfortable, because it'll make you motivated and say, oh, I got to change this. Whatever you have to change, you normally going to end up motivating yourself, because you know something needs to change. You got a leak in the house. You can't just sit there and be like, yo, I'm comfortable with this leak. No, that's not going to happen that way. It's just not. What's going to happen is you're going to wake up and say, all right, I'm going to handle this today, because I'm going to cause more of a headache if I'm gonna take care of this. So just look at life like that. Like if you uninspired, take a walk, take a break, start analyzing everything, and get yourself back on track. Because it's hard to fall off. All right? I'm sorry. It's easy to fall off, not hard to fall off. It's very easy to fall off. So get inspired and do your thing. All right?